Morning guys, how are we doing? Tuesday morning. I hope you had a great Monday. Hope you had a good start to the week. So before we get into talking about breaking the pattern and letting things manifest into a fucking monster issue, if you haven't already, and I don't know why, you mentalist, make sure you get yourself on to a 7-day trial. It doesn't matter if you're listening on here, there's a link, or on the podcast, there's a link. It's free for 7 days. And if anything, you get some free training. And there's 5 training videos on there that are going to help you kind of put everything together, which is the foundations. And you can kind of see what we're doing in the Brotherhood, where the guys are absolutely fucking rocking it. There's a great offer of 50% off as well right now for coming in. Also, if you're listening on a podcast, please do drop like a review on the podcast for me, please. It'd be massively appreciative. I know that people are slowly starting to do it, which is great. And do share this video. Right, mofos. Let's talk about breaking the pattern, okay? Turning what could be a gremlin, stopping something growing from being a little gremlin in your mind into a huge problem. Now, I failed at this when I left the Marines. I'm sure this dog just wants to sabotage my live feed. I failed at this when I was struggling at my worst. You know, when I left the Marines and things slowly started falling down. I started by drinking amaretto and Coke. And I would have like an amaretto and Coke. Very sweet, I know. And it was a bit of a gremlin because I was like, oh, I'm drinking a glass every single night. I'm drinking like a shot of amaretto and Coke every single night. And then as things sort of escalated for me, it turned into maybe 4 or 5 a night. And suddenly the pattern of my evening escalated into going from 1 amaretto to then suddenly drinking 5 amarettos an evening. And obviously that's not fucking great for you. As you well know, and some of you may recognise or relate to that, you know, having that 1 bottle of beer because it's been a rough day, and then suddenly it turns to 4 or 4 tinnies, and suddenly you get into a pattern of like drinking. I noticed little gremlins within guys within my Brotherhood. Okay, and the Brotherhood is not just a program for 6 weeks, for 8 weeks. You know, we're trying to build for life. We're there for life. And I see the guys that have been with me for an awful long time, over a year now, and I don't see many gremlins because they've broken the pattern and they are almost in an unbreakable mindset. Very much similar to, I guess, where I am right now. Morning, guys. Morning, everyone. And their coping mechanisms. Should we start again? Their coping mechanisms are strong as fuck. You know, we all still have the same problems, but our resilience to them is much better. They've broken the pattern of allowing that problem to suddenly overwhelm them. I see people leaving the Brotherhood because of small gremlins and small problems that really could be taken charge of. And then suddenly, you know, they are walking away from structure and routine to then kind of go into stressful situations that they're going to need to be able to break the patterns, where they need to make sure that they don't let the gremlins become a monster problem again. And I see it often, like not just with the Brotherhood, I see it every single day. You know, when I read things, people are not taking charge of a situation. They're allowing a minor problem, a minor issue, to become something, okay, of a monster issue, because we don't break the patterns within our life. You know, let me tell you a pattern that a large majority of guys are on right now, and that is stuck in a rut, feel sorry for themselves, woe is me, my life is shit, I've got a ton of problems, but I'm going to self-sabotage and wallow in that self-pity. That was me for a bit. I did that for a little bit, and that's kind of hard to take. That's really hard to take. You know, when I think back to when I was at that mentality and I was in that pattern and I couldn't snap the fuck out of it. It was a difficult time in my life, and the last thing you need is some prick saying that to you, but it's the truth. You know, that's a pattern that the majority of people are in. And that's why I say to people, well, try the 7-day trial, because I don't want you necessarily to join the Brotherhood, because if it's not for you, it's not for you. It makes a difference to me, because I want you to be better in life. But really, for the 7-day trial, you get to see 5 coaching videos. You get to see how motivated and motivating and inspiring particular guys are, and you see them in the Brotherhood, because you go, well, wait a minute, there is a better life. I'm looking at all of these guys in here that are trying to improve their lives, that are trying to improve their mindset, that are trying to keep healthy, that are facing problems every day, but they're being accountable for those problems, and they're being self-aware of those problems because they're able to open up. So maybe if I break this pattern of trying to do it by myself, of trying to feel sorry for myself, of trying to think that I'm the only one with the problem, perhaps if I snap out and break that pattern, I can break this gremlin, get this gremlin away from me, and not allow it to be a monster. And I think for most people, they've allowed the patterns and the gremlins inside of them to become a monster issue. And the problem is, when it's a monster issue, the bigger the problem it has become, the harder it is to break the cycle, to break the pattern, to change the mindset. And I think that's where time comes in. Patience, structure, routine, new habits. That's where being surrounded by positive individuals, inspiring individuals, changes that. You know? And that's what's happened, you know? There's like over 100 guys in the Brotherhood right now. And each one of them are bouncing off each other. They've got accountability partners. I think of them more as positivity partners, inspiring partners. Because there's people with all sorts of backgrounds in there. All sorts of issues. No one's different in this world. Every single one of us has issues. But the stronger we make our state of mind, the stronger we make our vision, the stronger we make our purpose, the stronger we make the fulfillment in our life, the better we are at deflecting those gremlins. Because you've broken the pattern. You've trained your brain. You've trained your brain to go from approaching something in a negative format and not doing anything about it and being consumed, to changing your brain to a positive thinking one, which apparently doesn't work, according to some blokes at the weekend. A positive mindset, an outlook of life that has optimism. You've surrounded yourself with people that fucking matter, that bring you up, that level up your game, that level up your life. What do you think about the pattern you're in right now? You know, look at some of those little gremlins. I'll be honest about one of my recent ones, if I may. So since changing my routine and taking the kids on a little bit more while their mum goes off to does some great work up in Brighton, we have a great relationship. So I said, yep, 100%, and it allows me to see the kids more. And I almost lost out on 9 hours a week work, so I had to find those 9 hours. So I was working like my productivity was through the roof. Okay, so what I used to achieve in a whole day, what I kind of done, it was just like made sure that I was super efficient with my work, switch my phone off and get my work done. Now, one of the patterns I started noticing was that because of that, I was on my phone in the evening. Now, I have a strict no phone rule in the evening. Everything that goes out after sort of 7:30 is scheduled. And I have a strict no phone rule, so I kind of stick it on do not disturb. So only family can get in touch with me. And I've noticed in a pattern in the last 4 weeks where I've been on my phone, social media, and going down, you know, that when you just go down that rabbit hole, straight in, you know. And that's deflected a little bit of presence from my partner, from my kids. And it annoys me, it frustrates me, and I get annoyed with myself. So instead of it becoming a big thing, I recognise it, we accept it, and we change it. Recognising self-awareness, accept that you fucked up, okay, I've broken one of my rules, okay, and that I'm going to change, and that needs to change, that pattern needs to change. And a pattern that you may be familiar with is coming home, deciding not to go to the gym, but sitting on the sofa, and you've made that excuse and you've made that decision not to work out, yet you are really unhappy with the way that you look. So you tell me, you want to eat well, but your pattern right now is because you're too busy to prep your food, which your chicken takes 10 minutes to cook, by the way, you end up getting fast food. You end up getting a meal deal from the service station all the time, and every time you get that meal deal, you buy a Coke and a chocolate bar. Okay? That's picking up bad habits. Okay, another pattern could be every time you go shopping when you're hungry. So when you're hungry, you'll more than likely want to eat shit. You want to buy crap food because your eyes are bigger than your belly. So, you know, maybe go shopping once you've eaten and you've eaten something healthy because that's the last thing you ate and you're kind of in the mood to eat healthy and buy healthy. It's just a change of mindset and a change of pattern, because you get frustrated with yourself that you went shopping, you bought all that shit and the temptation's in the house. If you don't want to eat crap, why the fuck would you buy it from the supermarket? If you load yourself up with chocolate bars and bottles of Coke and you don't want to drink that shit because you know it makes you lethargic, you know it makes you feel bloated, you know it gives you IBS, why the fuck do it? All right, so look at some of your patterns that you are falling into, some of the patterns that you need to get out of, and break them before the problem becomes too big for you to handle and you suddenly go into this deep rut, this trench, and the fucking rounds are coming in at you, the bullets are coming in at you, and you can't get out of that, and you don't know how to get out of it. All right, so patterns, break them. Let's just summarize, shall I say? Patterns. Look at some of the patterns that are not serving you. Look at the patterns that are causing stress, frustration, overwhelm, and what are you going to do about them? If you fucking tell me you don't have time, I'll hunt you down and take you out. All right? This is your one chance to live, mofos. This is your one chance to level up. Be the best version of yourself. And if your patterns are shit, if you're allowing patterns in your life to dictate what you're doing, you're going to fucking struggle. I'm telling you, you're going to live a stressed life. And you don't need to. You don't need to. Just need to change and train the way that the brain works, the way that your brain thinks, the way that you think, so that you stop fucking around feeling sorry for yourself and you start fucking stepping up to the plate. And you start stepping up to the plate and being the best version of yourself in every fucking thing that you do. Everything that you do. Right, that's that done. So listen, if you haven't already, review the podcast, please. If you haven't already, just get on a 7-day trial. There's a link on here. See what it's all about. Get involved. Like, no one's asking you to pay £100 fucking deposit to go on a 7-day trial. It's free, for fuck's sake. You just have to follow a couple of forms, get yourself signed up, jump into the group, come and see what it's all about, come and meet the guys, fucking amazing guys in there, and see what it's all about. Tonight I'm doing some training. I'm going to be live on Facebook at 7:30. Going to just take you through planning your day, time management, timetabling. All right, it's going to be really good. I think you'll have an eye-opener. I use it with some of the business owners that I work with and some of my one-on-one coaching clients, and it will be really good. It'll be really good. I hope to see you there. Let me know if you're going to be there, and have a great day. See you soon.